This isn't satire, it's a Monday, every year. The Met Gala, a fundraising event for the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute, where celebrities dress in elaborate themed outfits and walk a long, golden staircase for the cameras. When I first saw those pictures, I honestly thought they were scenes from the Hunger Games, a dystopian series where the wealthy living in the capital district watch children from poor districts fight to death in a televised event. Which made me wonder, do we live in the Hunger Games? And if we do, why is it that when watching the Hunger Games and other stories about the underdog, we cheer for Katniss, the outsider, the rebel, the girl who burns it all down, but in real life, when injustice is just as loud and inequality just as deep, we don't? Why do we love rebellion in stories, but ignore it in reality? And is the answer maybe more horrific than fiction ever dared to show? The Hunger Games is a story about a post-Civil War society called Panem, where the capital rules over 12 impoverished districts. Every year, each district must send 2 children to fight to death in a televised event, a reminder of who's in charge. It's dystopia, yes, but is it fantasy? Or is it rooted in real patterns? The use of spectacle to distract, of ritual to control, and of inequality to enforce obedience. Because every year, 34 million Americans, the richest people on Earth by global economic standards, experience food insecurity, while the Met Gala raises millions. Not for food banks, but for fashion. Guests wear outfits that cost more than the annual income of most families. So is it true? Do we really live in the Hunger Games? The Hunger Games uses gladiator-style combat and flashy TV hosts to pacify the masses. In our world, we have TikTok hauls from teenagers showcasing $10,000 worth of clothes, influencers eating gold leaf steaks, live streams of $50 million weddings, school tours from $50,000 a year academies, and aspirational day-in-my-life blogs. It looks like opportunity, but it's really a performance. The digital Hunger Games. Just like the Capitals games, our spectacles are a distraction. One notable difference is we participate voluntarily. We're not just viewers. We're performers. We're content. You better dance for the talk. If you don't want to drag your behind to work every day, do the dance. Guy Debord's Society of the Spectacle warned us back in 1967. Reality will be replaced by representation. The spectacle becomes not a supplement to reality, but its replacement. What matters is how things look, not how they are. In Panem, the only way out of the districts is to win the Hunger Games. In our world, the only way out for many, presumably, is virality. Be discovered, get followers, build a brand. You can be a nobody today and a millionaire tomorrow if the algorithm picks you. Or as we see in the real-life Squid Game reality show, or TV productions, staging elaborate competitions where the last person standing wins money, food, or shelter. We're turning desperation into a game, struggle into spectacle. To be fair, that is going on for a very long time. The Roman Empire used bread and games to sedate its people, cheap food and wild entertainment. Today we have cheap dopamine, endless scrolling, streaming, drama. Crises are background noise. We watch footage of bombings between reaction videos, news of climate disaster wedged between lip-sync challenges. I mean, they're so fun though. But this arena is not meritocratic. It's random, rigged, and violent. Go viral or vanish. The algorithm is our arena. In the Hunger Games, the capital controls everything. Food, media, weapons, infrastructure. Panem is ruled by a decadent elite. In our world, we don't have kings, we have billionaires. They control your platforms, your data, your attention. We're not talking about ordinary inequality anymore. We're talking about differential survivability, where wealth doesn't just get you more comfort, it decides whether you survive a crisis. When COVID hit, the wealthy escaped cities and got richer than ever before. When heat waves come, fires, most people run, but they have AC. The rest must adapt or suffer. Our billionaires don't wear crowns, they wear Patagonia and own more land in Hawaii than any native Hawaiian family. While we're debating if we drink rainwater to survive, they're already rehearsing. This isn't inequality, it's engineered survival. The rich don't just have more, they live in a different reality. It's not that the system is broken, it's just running perfectly, for a very few. But here's the strange part. We love rebellion, but only in fiction. Katniss, Neo, Maximus in Gladiator, Paul Atreides, Spartacus. Every generation has their rebel. And it's always the same arc. Someone oppressed sees injustice, suffers, rises, and wins. It's our favorite myth, the underdog hero, the righteous rebel. We consume rebellion like we consume anything else, in plot arcs, with trailers. We binge Squid Game, then buy the merch. We applaud the revolution and then buy the costume on Amazon. The Matrix told us there is no spoon, but the new spoon is $149 and sold at Comic-Con. We love rebellion in fiction because it gives us structure, catharsis, resolution. In real life, rebellion is none of those things. In real life, injustice is abstract. Systems are invisible. The villain doesn't have a face. You can't punch neoliberalism in the face in a drastically underpinned revolution scene. You can't hack aristocracy with a montage. There's no throne room to storm, no final battle to win. Real resistance is slow, messy, boring, repetitive. Punished and worse, it doesn't end. Some organize, some march, sometimes laws even get changed, but then someone else gets elected and undoes every progress. Real rebellion lacks the finale, and we've been conditioned by stories, by media, by content to only engage with things that resolve. So we love watching rebels, but we never become them, because in real life, resistance isn't a climax, it's a lifetime. For some of you who lived during the peak of world civilization, the 90s, may remember the most important movie ever made, The Matrix. At least the first part. In this movie, the world has been taken over by machines, who enslave humanity and keep it alive in tubes as batteries, while trapping their minds in a software that simulates the world as we know it. Neo, the chosen one, gets woken up by a rebel group and fights the system to free humanity. And in this movie there's a highly critical scene where Neo meets the Architect, a computer program from the enemy. After a long and sacrificial fight to get there, the Architect reveals to Neo, "You are not the first. Each version of the Chosen One was designed to help the system reboot, not destroy it. You are number 6. It's a never-ending cycle of control." The system needs rebellion to survive. It manufactures the Chosen One so it can control the reset. This isn't revolution, it's ritual. And maybe that's us. Every few years we get a new rebel, a figure to cheer for, cry over, and forget. And that brings us to the most uncomfortable question of all. Why? As much as we love rebellion in stories, why don't we do in real life? The answer has multiple parts, and each one is more chilling than the previous one. First, it's not that people don't care, it's that we are drowning in crises. You wake up, check the news, and before you've finished brushing your teeth, you've seen war, fire, inflation, collapse, celebrity scandal, political scandal, medical scandal, and whatever someone in power did this time. And that's by design, because psychological bandwidth is a finite resource. But in modern life, it's flooded as if it's infinite. The more chaos floods in, the less capacity we have for action. We can't prioritize what to panic about, and that's the point. Welcome to the attention economy, where every notification, every breaking headline, every meme is a hit of dopamine or dread, until it all becomes white noise. The line between horror and humor blurs. between urgency and apathy. In the Hunger Games, the capital uses fear to paralyze the districts. In our world, fear is just one tab among 20. It's not that we're asleep, we are overstimulated. And when you are too busy earning a living, surviving, you don't have time to be a rebel. But it gets even darker. Now let's say you do care. You're aware, you're angry. Okay, but instead of action, what do we reach for? A vibe. Rebellion becomes a look, a curated feed, a carefully filtered scream. We are living in the era of aesthetic outrage. And here's the kicker. That outrage still obeys the rules of the system. Resistance becomes a brand. We express our radicalism through a tote bag. Even the Circle A, the literal symbol of revolution, of anarchy, is merch. You can buy it online, you can wear it to go shopping for tote bags. What the f is a tote bag? Anyway, rebellion isn't dangerous, it's profitable. As Michel Foucault, the French philosopher and historian, put it, in modern systems of power, we internalize control. We don't need censors, we self-regulate. We adjust our politics to whatever gets clicks. When the solution to oppression is a skincare routine, you've been sold complacency, not justice. But not everybody buys the tote bag, yet we still consume rebellion away. We don't need to protest, we just need to watch the protest. Like, share, retweet, react. This is what we call parasocial activism. It feels like action, it feels like we're helping, but what we're really doing is experiencing rebellion the same way we experience a movie. We binge underdog stories, and we get that sweet catharsis, that rush, that yes, burn it down feeling. And then we open DoorDash and don't leave a tip because really, the buck stops here. It's rebellion by proxy. We feel like heroes, but never pay the cost. As long as someone is doing something, we don't need to. And guess what? The capital in the Hunger Games doesn't fear the rebellion. It funds it. Netflix profits from revolution, Disney owns the rights to rebellion, and Amazon hosts it in 4K. Disney owns Star Wars, a literal anti-empire franchise. Amazon hosts The Boys, a show that rips corporate superheroes while funded by a corporate superpower. The revolution isn't just televised, it's monetized. This is the hardest pill to swallow, because even when resistance happens, when people march, shout, organize, it often gets co-opted before it can threaten anything real. You've seen it. A protest slogan becomes an ad. A justice movement becomes a corporate campaign. Radical aesthetics, sanitized messaging, approved rebellion. You can march as long as it's sponsored, you can scream as long as it's marketable. Even the most powerful movements get neatly folded into the machine, turned into merch, into hashtags, into shelf-stable slogans. When revolution is safe for the system, it isn't revolution anymore. So why does nobody do anything? Because in this system, in the world of Hunger Games, and maybe our own, rebellion becomes branding. And when rebellion becomes branding, it's dead. So in the end, when we say we want rebellion, what we really want is catharsis, a clean arc, a payoff, a final boss. But rebellion isn't an act, it's a practice. It's not an aesthetic, it's an inconvenience. It's not cathartic, it's humiliating, dangerous, and slow. So if we are living in Panem, if we are scrolling through the capital's fashion show while the districts drown, then it's not about what they will do next. It's about what you will. Because the Hunger Games was never really about who wins, it's about who watches. And in our world, maybe the most radical thing left to do is to stop watching. But don't stop watching this video, of course, because what do you think? Do we live in the Hunger Games? And what crazy costume will you be wearing once you've made it to the other side? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked this video, please keep the system running, subscribe and like so I can become part of the problem too. And if you don't feel like stopping to watch until the world burns to the ground, use your time well and prepare for survival like in The Last of Us. Check out this video about the show and the question, is it moral to survive? See you next time.